All right, and welcome back to the Shuttlecock podcast. My name is Aaron Rhodes. The podcast is sponsored by the Vinyl Underground at 7th Heaven, offering new and used vinyl at 76th and Troost in Kansas City. This week on the show, we have Dakota Shipp. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Aaron?
I'm pretty darn good. I'm happy to have you here.
Me too. It's an honor and a pleasure to be on your podcast.
No, don't. Yeah, I wouldn't mix too much honor with pleasure, though.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
That's true because pleasure is usually dishonorable.
Yeah, and that's how it works in the music business.
I know.
And this is my bad. I'm just continuing off air small talk, but we're gonna get to some big talk here. Dakota's got the big tunes, all the good rock music that we're gonna get to cover here. What was your first introduction to rock music and whatnot?
Like playing it or loving it?
We'll get to each. I guess we'll just start with loving it. Unless you played it before you loved it.
No,
that would be a twist. That would
kind of. I never wanted to be a musician or anything.
Mm.
I had a friend whenever I was in 5th and 6th grade who his dad had a bunch of punk records and stuff. So I listened to the Ramones and Green Day, obviously, and the Misfits and the Dead Kennedys and Fatboy Slim. And that was whenever I really was yeah, music is awesome. I'm gonna do this. Listen to it, not play it. But then later, all my friends started bands, and I was like, I want to do that. And so I did. And then, I don't know. I've been playing music since I was 15.
Mm. And I kind of feel like most people, it might not be the stuff that they're super into, but a lot of people will get their initial kind of music influence from their immediate family. But I guess you were saying that yours kind of came from a friend and his family.
My brothers were kind of punk dudes. They loved ICP and Mudvayne.
That's pretty punk.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But they showed me some cool music, and I my great brother showed me ska music, Operation Ivy and stuff, and Rancid, and I was like, yeah.
Hence the Ska Coda title.
Some people do call me that.
I'm sorry if I
No, I'm not offended. I'm not offended.
Do you welcome this moniker?
I think it's fine. I think that it's a part of my personality that I can't really run away from anymore. I just, my blood is checkerboard.
That's deep.
I know.
We're digging deep here in the first 5 minutes. So you end up at a friend's house, and that's when you really kind of get your first kind of favorite bands and all that.
Yeah, definitely. We dance around and stuff. We're little kids, which is cool. I don't know. When I realized that it was a good way to feel good without really trying very hard, and it's good. Listen to music is healthy. It's very healthy. As we all know, the best part about music is that when it hits you, you feel no pain.
Honestly, that's preach. No, that is. I feel for someone that's super interested in music and musicians and everything like that. I feel like my basic reason for doing that is a little more simple than everyone else. I feel like music for me has always just been it makes it adds positively to anything you're doing. If you're driving, it makes driving better. If you're sitting in a room, it makes sitting in a room better. And I feel like a lot of people have more kind of intense and psychological reasons. If you were to ask them why is music special, I'm no, it just makes doing stuff cooler. I don't know.
Yeah, it's it's a way to make your life better. It's easy. You don't have to do anything. Yeah, it's great. It's perfect. That's enough of a reason to love it.
Sure is. But put that one on a t-shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once you kind of have your taste kind of starting to form, you mentioned that you do want to start a band with some of your friends, and how old are you at that point?
When I first like joined a band, I was like 14, and it was just like some kids that I went to school with, and I didn't play an instrument. I just like I was the vocalist, and yeah, whatever. It was like stupid. It was like really dumb, but you know, it was just a way for me to spend my life. But then the first time I actually like started a band, like joined a band, and like it was like a thing, and it happened. I was like 15, and I like finally found other people who liked the same kind of music I liked, because everyone else around me, like I would try to show them like punk music, or even like ska, like some of them like the ska music. They're like, yeah, this is cool, but like nobody would ever listen to like punk music, and that was like the music that seemed like I could actually probably. It was like accessible, kind of, but.
And what was that first real band that you were playing in?
It was called the wait, no, it was called some Pelicans. Some Pelicans, yeah.
And I'm guessing that this predates Drooling Slits.
Oh yeah, this was like the. I fronted that band. I did vocals. We played one show at I'm trying to remember. It was in Leavenworth. It was in Leavenworth, Kansas. There was just like some weird venue. I can't remember what it was called. It's been 10 years. Wow, it's not that long.
Grizzled veteran.
I know, right? I've been grueling away. I'm tired of this. But yeah, no.
Someone help Dakota sell out, please.
Yeah, give me money. My money.
So Drooling Slits is the high school punk band you end up in?
Yeah, that's after like trying to do like after I like started playing drums, I played like a band called Pink Twinkies, which is also very embarrassing. Well, I mean, whatever. I guess it's not that embarrassing. It was a lot of fun. Like I got to play out of town once, but then I started. Yeah, me and my friend who I'd been in all those bands with. I had a friend named Detto and then Trey Brown, and we started this. Like kind of like our first hardcore band, like a real, like there was no ska in it. Like we didn't play any ska songs. We just like played really, really fast.
Real angry shit.
Oh yeah, we were so mad about being in high school, I guess, and you know our parents, normal teenage things.
I have been, you know, I have not been as mad as I was in high school since I was in high school. You know, like that's enough source material right there, I think. Yeah,
your biology is just angry at that point in time, right? If you mean with hormones. Oof. Yeah, right. It's too much. I don't want to think about it again. It's over. That part of my life is done. But yeah, I did the Drooling Slits, and that was cool. It's like my first time I ever got to go on tour, and I got to meet a lot of really awesome people, and it really changed my life a lot. And it changed my life, and then sometimes I'm like, was that really good that I did that? Because now I just only know how to play in bands. I'm not good at anything else.
A little case of punk rock ruined my life.
Yeah, but it made it better. No, it's always worth it. Always worth it. No regret. Never no regret. I don't regret anything.
Yeah. No, and so on that, like you mentioned, you guys did get to go on tour in that band, and I'm pretty sure like on the band's Bandcamp, there's like a live recording from like a New Orleans radio station. You guys played at? Like
that was awesome. We put on. I don't remember what it was called, but it was this like the New Orleans College Radio, and the person who booked our show was this lady named Candace who played in a band called Necro Hippies, and I don't know, she just hooked us up so hard, and she like basically booked that entire tour for us because for some reason a bunch of angry 17-year-olds was like appealing to her or whatever. But yeah, we got to play on that radio show, and it's really awkward, but it was really cool. We got to play this warehouse space called Noemi Asto, which I don't think exists anymore, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of what year that was, like 2010. So yeah, it was cool. I don't know. That whole experience just completely ruined me in the best way.
What do you think about that tour was like so like formational for you?
I mean, just the idea that like that was an intense exposure. Because, I mean, before that, I'd gone on tour one time, like, for a couple of days, like, but just in the Midwest. But it was, like, the first time ever where I felt like I had some true form of independence. And, you know, like, whatever, like, there was nobody telling us what to do, and you could just, like, you know, like, we got stuck in a place. It wasn't like we had to stay there. Like, one of our first shows, like, half the shows on that tour were dropped. So there was a lot of, like, not doing anything. But, you know, it was like, oh, well, you know, we can't play a show in somewhere in Florida. We couldn't get a show, so we're just going to go to the beach and have a great day. It's like 17-year-old kids on our own. I don't know. That was awesome. Yeah, just, like, the pure independence and also, like, the exposure to, like, people who, for the first time in my life, I, like, really felt like I could look up to, who I admired, and, like, seemed to live a life that, to me, made more sense than, like, the life that everyone else had shown me, or whatever, like, media and stuff that wasn't, like, Star Wars, you know? Like, I can't be a Jedi, but I could be a cool, not just cool, but just, like, you know, I can play music, I guess. I don't know. That's, like, I think that sounds stupid, but no, that's right. I stand by it. I stick with it. Yeah, I'm like a Jedi. No,
and yeah, I think, like, either it takes either you go on tour. I've never been on, like, any type of full length tour myself, but, like, I feel like either you go on, like, a DIY tour, or you just spend, like, maybe, like, a year or, like, at least a while in, like a DIY scene in your own town, just, like, seeing bands and people come through. Mm-hmm. And I think at a certain point on either of those things, like, you do kind of have, like, a click where, like, you realize that there's, like, a whole country out there and there are communities just like yours and people that think like you and are just admirable to a certain extent, and it can be a pretty exciting time, and because it usually comes when you're a teenager, I think. So
yeah, the alienation definitely, like, kind of ends a little bit once you realize that there's just, like, it's like, oh no, it's like we're all living in America, and it sucks for a lot of people, and it doesn't suck that bad. I mean, I don't know. We're not gonna talk politics, but you know, it's definitely a cool, like, enriching moment to be like, oh, dude, you're, like, the same. You're so, like, we're so similar, and we just, like all the same stuff, but we just met today, and now we're best friends.
Oh yeah, and I think even, like, another experience like that kind of can even, like, speed up the process is, like, just going to, like, a 2 or 3 day fest. Mm-hmm. Also, like, because you just, you know, you see the same people the whole weekend, you know, and you get to, you know, go out to eat with them, you see the bands with them, and just hang out for, like, 72 hours, and you're just instant. It's like a little summer camp.
Yeah,
kind of. So,
or an anxiety attack, depending on where you are in that situation, which I think I've been in. I've been in both sides. But yeah, it's cool. Very cool.
Yeah. And so kind of after Drooling Slits finishes up, is the next band you do after that Battle Royale?
Basically, I kind of like, I've always been just, like, trying to do a million bands at the same time, but I did, like, a kind of same time that I was in Drooling Slits. I, like, started this 2-piece band that I played drums in called, like, Race Car, and then I did, like, a twee band called Trainbow, and then I started my first screamo band called Own Your Ghost, and then that turned into Battle Royale.
What led to the name switch on that band?
Like, half the members quit, and I got full creative control, so I named it something really stupid and cool.
Is that after the Japanese movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
And also the movie Accepted.
Wait, what's that one?
It's, who is it? Martin Long? Thomas Long? Not Tom. Not Tom DeLonge. It's a movie about going to college, and, like, he doesn't get accepted in any colleges, so he makes up his own college, and then like, he has to make it seem legit so that he can prove, I don't know, make his parents love him or something. But there's There's a scene where somebody yells Battle Royale in that.
Ooh.
To be completely
So
honest.
it's a dual reference.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like that. It's
Also, it's just like a cool thing, like Battle Royale. Like, it's a big fight, and the music was supposed to be like that, but it ended up just, it was just like emo music.
And so I guess you were in like kind of a range of like different sounding bands up until that point. But like maybe I'm wrong, but is like screamo and like that type of thing like your main shit? Or like did I just get that impression because I met you when that band was going?
I mean, it was. Yeah. I mean, like, because that was kind of how I thought about punk. Because when I first, even though there was a thriving Kansas City punk scene, I could not find it. The people that we had hung out with, like, we're all from Platte City, like we went through so many different groups of people trying to find, which that sounds kind of weird, but I mean, like, a lot of them were like old men that were like, we know we aren't supposed to be hanging out with these people because they're old and we're young.
Yeah,
you can't mix that. No, but it, being 17 and hanging out with a bunch of 35-year-olds and like I didn't do drugs or anything, and it was pretty uncomfortable for me. But I couldn't find anything, so I thought like the only thing I could find was like a screamo scene, basically, which like in my head, like the natural progression of punk rock was that like it just kind of went in that direction. It got way more emotional and way more like technical, I guess. I don't know. I loved it, It was sad. It was a sad kid. I was like, this is what I'm going to identify with.
No, yeah, and I guess it like maybe if you are like kind of like tuned into like all of the Discord records stuff and like you kind of follow the discography and you're like, oh, it gets more like emotional and like kind of, so like is that
plus Judge. Well, I mean, like, that band is basically like a proto screamo band, and then you get like Antioch Hero and Heroin, and then I'm just gonna go down a rabbit hole of all the screamo bands that I know about. But yeah, to me it made sense. Like it was just like another side of it, but
And would you say that's like kind of still how you feel about it, or are you just kind of happy just kind of picking and choosing like different kind of sounds to play? Like are you like, because your Blue Healer isn't playing anymore?
Yeah, no, it's not.
So are you working on a band like that right now, or?
No, actually, I've kind of like decided. Though I still love that kind of music, and I mean, I try not to think of Blue Healer like a screamo band, even though I totally know that it was. But it was like,
Man, I'm glad we have that on record, because Matt would just be always denying that.
No, because I would always deny it. But then you look back on it, and it's like, I mean, really, I did. By that point in time, I kind of stopped listening to screamo music when I was like 22. Like, I mean, not completely. I still listen to it, but it stopped being this like, oh, I'm obsessed with this, and I just, because in my mind, on the national level, that sort of scene felt really diluted to me, and it kind of stopped seeming like punks who like kind of came to the same conclusions that I came to, where it's like, oh, this is just another form of it. Like, some ways I really see it as like, you actually kind of take that mainstream screamo music, and it almost seems like it came more from that direction with a lot of things that I hear now. Though there are still super sick bands. Actually, a really good screamo band that is going to be, I don't know if they want to be called a screamo band, but Soul Glow, they're going to be playing here before the fest. I'm not going to be able to see them because I'm going to be down there, but that band's really good, you should go see them.
Right, and I'm pretty sure Ebony Tusks and Young Machetes are opening that show too.
Whoa.
That's what they might be opening that. So that'll definitely be a really cool show. I haven't listened to Soul Glow yet, but
yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, and but you're not in. I know Matt has 2 new bands, and those are Big Water and Gun Band, and you're not doing either of those.
No, I'm not in any of those bands.
Okay, I was just checking. But back a little rewind to Battle Royale. I want you to tell me about the legendary 4-way split.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's just like a really great document of where like the scene was like back in like when did that come out? Like 2012 or
Yeah, it came out. It was supposed to. I don't think it actually came out in 2012 though. It might have come out at the very end, but I remember we had like recorded those songs, hoping that we would get them back in time for this huge. We did 3 of the bands that were on that split all went on tour together to the West Coast, and it was the worst decision.
Oh, what happened out there?
Oh, it just there was like 15 of us and like 3 totally no-name bands going to. I mean, it was once again a great experience, and I loved it. But it was like we didn't make any money. Nobody cared. Would not. This is not a regret in my life. I loved it.
Yeah.
But yes, it was like stupid.
On paper, not a great tour. But
yeah, we had to like. We took a cargo van and we didn't have seats for everybody. So we just like chained down these like old car seats in the back, and like we were like had to face each other, and I mean it was just like such intense contact like constantly, and yeah, whatever. Forget about it.
What cities did you get to hit on that tour?
We played Salt Lake City and Boise, Idaho, Portland, Fresno, California, Oakland. I think we played in Oakland, maybe. We played a couple shows in California. I know one was in Fresno. I don't know where the other one was. But then we played in Las Vegas, and then Albuquerque, New Mexico, and then Austin, San Antonio, and Denton, Texas. Those are that's it. Those are all the places.
Nice. And do you know whose idea it was to have like? Was it like everyone's dad's on the cover
yeah.
of the split?
Yeah.
I want to know about that.
I think it was Stephen Prosky's idea. I don't know. I don't really know. Someone was just like, we're going to, like, I had such little to do with it because I was kind of a baby, and I was just like, yeah, no, I'm so excited to be on a record. Wow. Everyone just kind of told me what to do. But, I don't know. Everyone was just like, yeah, get a picture of your dad. We're gonna have our dads be the cover of it. And it was like, okay. We were like gonna have the original plan was to like get everybody with their dads, but that was like impossible because everyone's dad was like not everyone lived there. So, but yeah, that was funny.
I think that was it was a nice piece of art to go with that, and yeah, how would because I don't know I honestly I should have like gone back and like kind of just listen to the discography like kind of front to back, but I know the band kind of did like evolve to like a different sound by the time it was finished.
Yeah.
How would you say it kind of changed from when you started it?
I kicked everyone out because I'm a dickhead. But yeah, I basically like just got like different people to play in it, and also my tastes changed, you know. It's still like the same. I don't know. It's like instead of sounding like a more modern, like I was just ripping off like 10 Grand and that Texas band Innards. I feel like that was like what we sounded like. Well, not that good, but I was just ripping off that, and then I just got really into like there's a Missouri screamo band called Love Lost But Not Forgotten, and I basically just got really into them and was like, okay, I'm gonna rip this off now. That's all making music is. Just ripping off other people.
Yeah, if you're not admitting it, you're a liar, you know, right?
Yeah, there's no such thing as creativity. No, there's creativity. There's creative people. They're all around me. I just am not one. I am so creative.
Yeah, I'd argue that. And so yeah, are you kind of bummed yourself that there isn't a lot of like kind of screamo or noise rock or post-hardcore like stuff happening locally right now?
Not necessarily. I mean, like, yeah, I love seeing that type of music. You know, it's really cool, and like when it's done well, it's just like so. It's like it can be like emotional and intense, and it can be so drawing. But I just feel like, I mean, I really just want to see bands that are like innovative and interesting and seem like they care about their music. So, I mean, I don't care. There's plenty of bands that do that, you know. I have friends that do that. I mean, I kind of wish that there were more bands in Kansas City. If anybody's listening to this, please start a band. You should do it. You hit me up. I will book your band. Just please start one. Play music. Please.
Play good music.
Play good music. It doesn't have to be good. You'll get good. Just start
kind of good music.
Start your shitty band.
It'll eventually be good.
Yeah, exactly. You start your shitty band. You're like, whatever. I'm gonna do this, and then you're like, oh, this sucks. And then you're like, oh no, I'm just gonna think about it a different way, and I'm gonna do it again. And then you just keep doing that, and then, or you just start off and you rock. I don't know. Just do it, please. We'll book your band everywhere, all over the city. We'll change the world.
Yeah, you could be a motivational speaker.
I won't. Couldn't.
No, but what was I gonna ask after that? Oh yeah, so last week on the show I had Gabe Coppage on the show, and we kind of at one point ended up talking about just how like Kansas City's like punk scene has kind of like morphed over the last like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of interested in your opinion on like your view on like what you think has kind of changed in like the DIY scene, and like what you think has like become more prevalent and all that type of junk.
Yeah, I mean, I think about it sometimes. It's definitely because what was like 5 or 6 years ago, like 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard for me to like really have a concrete feeling about it just because I'm older, and I don't know, I'm still I'm still with it. I'm still like around it all the time, and I definitely like can really love it sometimes, but I don't know. I mean, the music's always changing. It's always different bands, but I feel like people are always trying to do the same thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Is there anything like you're particularly like missing out on that kind of used to be present, or something that there is now that you're like glad is happening, or I don't know?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like one thing that I've noticed lately, and it's just like a mixture, like people, because of the fact that I don't feel like everybody's as concentrated. That was definitely one thing, is that I felt like before, you know, there was like this huge emphasis on hardcore bands. I feel like, you know, everybody had one. They were just, it's like trading cards or something. Everyone had their, it's like, oh yeah, I have a hardcore band. You go to the store, the cashier's like, yeah, I've got a hardcore band. You want me to play your show? I'm like, yes, because I'll book anybody. But I don't know. I like the fact that because of the fact that it's kind of, it's not as concentrated. There's not like all the same type of band. It kind of forces people to have different kind of music. Like the Soul Glow show. I mean, like they're like a screamo band, and it's like a bunch of hip hop that's playing with it, and that's awesome. You know, because you can't just like get, what's the word, cornered, funneled, something, whatever. Just don't do the same thing. Like it's just, you can't. I mean, I do miss seeing all those like hardcore bands all the time, and there still are really good bands that play that style of music in town. But definitely like I love having like a diversity of music that you're hearing, because it's awesome. Just go to a show and it's like, oh, you know, I got to watch the same type of band 4 times, as opposed to like being like, oh, this band, why is that guy got a banjo? What, that person doesn't even play an instrument. They just have a computer. And then it's like, oh, but then there's this band. This was great. I had a great time. I'm going to go home. That was a 3-band show. This is the best night all week.
Yeah. No, yeah, I would definitely have to agree that like things are a little more like sonically diverse than they have been in the past. So I think that's one thing to be excited about. And so what have you been working on with like all the bands that you are playing in right now? So yeah, what's up with Mentira? I guess we'll just kind of run through them.
Mentira's actually, we just finished up recording some new songs. We were trying to do like an EP or whatever, but it might just be another demo because we can't find anybody who wants to put it out. Maybe somebody will. But yeah, we're just trying to put out a 7-inch right now, and if we can't get someone to put it out, we're just going to do another tape, probably around the time of that fest in Oklahoma City. Everything is not okay. But yeah, other than that, just like been kind of taking it easy with a lot of my bands lately. I mean, still practicing every week, but it's like Mentira just recorded and that's done. It's all mixed and I think it sounds good. And then Unforgiven 5 just recorded a new demo. And I think we're going to record another one pretty soon too. But I think we have another show coming up February 24th or something. We're playing with Bib somewhere. I don't know. And then Natural Man, we're just writing. We've been writing a bunch. We're going to play that fest in Oklahoma too. And we have a 7-inch coming out. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Somebody put out a 7-inch of ours, and we sent it to them, and somebody said that it's going to exist in this reality, in this plane.
I hope it's in this reality. I don't want any of those other realities getting the record before we do.
Yeah, that would be a shame because it'd probably be lost forever. And we don't really have the technology to traverse other dimensional planes.
If anyone out there has the technology to traverse other existential planes, hit us up.
Please.
Send us a tweet.
Tweet us.
But Natural Man's been playing a lot of new songs live lately, I've noticed. So.
Yeah, we've been writing. It's like that's all we've been doing. We have like a lot of new songs. I think we want to do an LP. I want to do an LP. I've never done one.
Oh man, that is like kind of one goal to kind of set out for.
Yeah, that's one of my dreams.
A little bucket list item.
Bucket list. Bucket list. Put out this a message to the world. Put out my LP. I don't care if it could be just me. Help me.
Oh yeah, and but you are working on some solo music right now.
Yeah.
Too. And that's under the name Bit O' Honey?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna call it.
What's that stuff like? Is it like race car? Is it
No?
It's a little post punk stuff happening.
I mean, I guess kind of. I mean, punk ended in '77, dude. Everything else is post punk, man. It's all over, man.
Yeah, what's the new stuff sound like?
I've actually played 3 solo. This will be my 3rd show playing by myself. But the first time I did it, I had like a guitar. It's like looping stuff. The first time I did it, I just like played guitar and looped it and had like a drum. And then the second time I did it, I like had kind of a setup with some keyboards and I had this little Korg Volca Beats like drum sequencer and it sounded really bad. But I recently purchased like a drum machine and I have all these pedals, so it's just like, I don't know. Hopefully it's fun. That's kind of it. I just kind of want people to be able to see it and be like, oh yeah, maybe I'll do a little bit of this. You know what I mean? Like
a little dance rock and roll.
Yeah. You know, I got a keyboard that's like all circuit bent and it sounds crazy and I don't know. It'll be cool. I'm excited. I've been working on it for a little bit.
Oh, and I meant to ask you about Natural Man because I went. And the article didn't end up working out, and maybe it'll work out in the future. I came over and talked to you guys. It was supposed to be for a pitch article, but so we were talking about just kind of like the band's like songwriting process and all that, and it sounded like everyone like kind of contributed to like a certain extent. So like, do you end up writing any lyrics for that band?
Oh no, I don't write it. The lyrics are all Ian and Stephanie for sure. I mean, they hear other people's words, so I mean, there's always an influence. So maybe we all do write it because we're all together sharing the same energy.
Man, I need to get some royalties then.
Yeah, you really. We'll talk to Neck Chop. I think that was it. Yeah. We'll talk to them. We'll figure it out. We'll get you your cheddar, your money.
I'm all about the cheddar.
I know you love it.
That's why I'm a music journalist. You know, that's
mild cheddar.
That's no, but yeah. So do you think playing like your solo music? Do you think you have like a lot of like kind of lyrical content that you do kind of want to spend your time on, and like since you're playing in all these bands, you might not get to contribute lyrics to? Is that something you're excited to do now?
Yes and no. I just feel like a lot of other people have more important things to say than me. Not to try and quiet myself, but I mean, like, the vocal aspect of that is more so just like, yeah, I mean, I am excited to, like, say stuff, I have things to say, and I don't think you're going to be able to understand them because I'm going to have 100 pedals running my vocals through, and it's going to sound like, but if you dig deep enough, you'll hear some really deep, like, feelings I have, and,
Yeah, and, hearing stuff isn't always about understanding that stuff,
Yeah.
It's art, you don't gotta
don't question
look
me.
too deep.
Yeah, you don't have to, you can interpret it.
Yeah.
But you're not going to know.
And interpretive rock and roll for dancing.
That's right.
That's a bit of honey right there.
It's not even really rock and roll. It's more like, no, it's not really like that either.
Yeah, what is there anything else you've been working on lately, or that you're just real excited about?
I mean, excited about every day. Every day's a says I think Jesus Christ says that, right?
Jesus Christ,
I don't know. I mean, yeah, just those 3 bands. Been working on myself, trying to look inside and find myself.
Is that a New Year's resolution of yours?
Yeah, find myself.
A little soul searching.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, wake up every day, look in the mirror, and say, who am I? That's what I'm most excited for. All the other people's band. It's trying to find this band.
Who is Dakota Shipp?
Yeah, the real solo project. Because we're all alone in this universe.
Or maybe that's like therapy, but
yeah. Yeah, my dude, I got a therapist, so don't worry.
But yeah, I think that's most of what I wanted to get to. So yeah, people can visit shuttlecockmusic.com for all the articles and everything. There's shuttlecockmag.bigcartel.com if you want to get a t-shirt, button, photo zine. And follow on at Shuttlecock Mag on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And there's a show at the Come and Go happening on February 17th with Shady Bug from St. Louis, with locals Dead Dads Club, Leg Day, and Tall Boys. And yeah, is there any websites that people should follow you on or listen to your music at? Or
yeah, I guess if you want to listen to the music that I contribute to, there's a couple of bandcamp.com websites that you could check. I can't remember, what is is it the band and then Bandcamp?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so for Mentira's music, it's Mentira, it's mentira.bandcamp.com, and then Natural Man is Mutants for Nuclear Waste.bandcamp.com.
I think it's the number 4.
Yeah, the number 4. And then Unforgiven 5 is just Unforgiven number 5 kc.bandcamp.com.
I think you guys are a little inconsistent with like if it's the spelled out or if it's the numbers.
Well, it's whatever you want it to be. Just don't make it a Roman numeral.
Just Google it,
I don't want Unforgiven B's, please.
Oh yeah, and also a little PSA. Yeah, it is pronounced Mentira.
That's right.
And everyone out here going like Mentira.
I know that we live in the Midwest.
Sound like a hick, and you should quit it.
Yeah. Just as for the record, that is how it is pronounced. Yeah. I skipped this little thing. I guess I'll just say it now. It's less of a question and more just me like giving you a little shout out here. I always just see you at most gigs, and you're like. Maybe, a band isn't quite as, trendy or exciting to watch or whatever, but I feel like you're one of, the few people that's always, sticking around and being real friendly and, listening to whatever someone's got to say, and I just want to, let you know I appreciate that. I don't know. Thanks, Aaron. I feel like you kind of do the same thing.
No, I
You're,
like
you know,
the fact
you're around. You're at all the shows. You're supporting everybody. You have this beautiful publication. Was that right? Is that what I call it? A publication?
Whatever you want to call it.
That's what I told my mom on the way over here.
It's an online publication stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to support it. You know, that's the thing about music and the music scene is that if you want it to exist and you want it to be good, you kind of have to be there for it, and you kind of have to, you know, show people that you care within it, and and outside of it. But that's how I feel. I feel like that's it. I don't know.
No, yeah.
I like it. I like it all too. I just want to support people. Everybody's great. Not everybody. Some people fucking suck.
Yeah.
Like the record show.
People that suck, you suck.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's right. I'm not looking at anybody, but some people, they know.
Oh, they know. But yeah, thanks for coming on the show today.
Yeah, thank you, Aaron. I really appreciate it.